Before we get started, let me just go over here and make sure everyone can see what we got going on here. Let's go, gentlemen of crypto. Old Jim in a crypto here. I'll also just tweet we're live. Let me tweet that over here or how. Child, I can't type to save my life today. And let me see if I can get the YouTube link right quick. And bear with me, y'all. I'm just gonna do this right quick. We'll also do it on my channel. Definitely come over to my channel, guys, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. What's up, Sharon Dawson? How you doing? Thanks for coming out to the live. Appreciate it. And to come over to the channel, it's just www.darkhorsewatcher.com. And you're straight to the channel where you can like and subscribe. And mass shout out to everybody. We're up to 1,400 subscribers. Let's get to 2,000, y'all. Very much appreciated. So we're gonna put this on a little community tab here that we're live, and then we'll get right into it. Nice little feature, this community tab. I hope it goes out to everyone who is subscribed because it's really nice. Boom. Okay, so let's see here who we got over here. What's up, Phantom Beat? Sharon Dawson, Phantom Beat. Thanks for making it out, y'all. Appreciate it. So this is expounding on what we were doing last week, right? We were talking about some game that we got from Reggie, right? Reggie Middleton. Reggie was like, okay, don't invest in crypto, invest in the infrastructure of crypto. And I was like, okay, what does he mean by that? Invest in the infrastructure of crypto. And it's something that Benzinga founder, Jason Rasnick, he always says it's the thing behind the thing. So if the thing is electronic cars, then the thing behind that thing may be tires, maybe lithium batteries, all the technology for the batteries, maybe semiconductor companies, a whole bunch of different stuff like that, right? So that's kind of the thing behind the thing. And last week, one of the examples I used was Ray Kroc. Shout out to my sister for that example. Ray Kroc ended up owning the entire McDonald's franchise, but what he did was he invested in the infrastructure being below the structure, and he literally invested in the land because no matter how much profits McDonald's make and they have to buy all their different materials, buy all their different food, that rent is still due, right? So um, I was listening to Max Mayer, and I listened to him from time to time. But then when King and Zay said he came on their channel, I was like, okay, then we can listen to you some more, Max. So he just had a cool video. You guys can go check it out. This is like investing in the S&P 70 years ago. Last chance. That last chance is a little bit of uh, algorithm magic because it's definitely not the last chance. Um, so he was talking about. is investing in emerging markets. And some of the emerging markets he mentioned were India, Poland, and Indonesia. But definitely go check his content out. It's not too long of a video. So I got to thinking because Max was like, okay, one of the best ways you can do is invest in indices and different type of derivatives that are based on these different emerging companies. And I think that's accurate, that's valid. But what we got the World Economic Forum and we got crypto to apply that to. So if you merge both of those different games, invest in the infrastructure behind crypto and invest in emerging markets, what you got is investing in things that are infrastructure plays for crypto in emerging markets. Boom, right? So we got the World Economic Forum, and we can go over there and peruse their site, right, and look at the major different people that they have working on working on the major topics that they have, right? So feature topics, artificial intelligence, again, another thing that's brought up. So cybersecurity, another thing that's brought up in crypto, climate change, another thing brought up in crypto, and the metaverse. So, um, if you guys weren't aware, Facebook Meta had an earnings thing this week, and they got hit hard, very hard. So much so that Jim Cramer came in up like apologizing, like he did something wrong, and people trusted him. And I'm not so sure what I think about Kramer because a lot of times he would do some stuff that I consider shady. But everybody deserves a second chance and all of that. Like I give Big Boy a rough time, and he supposedly doesn't do any more shilling of coins that he has private access to. So hopefully both of them can reform. But if you come over here and look at Meta, drop. And this is kind of like, and I need to do another video on this. If you guys come over to my Rockfin, and mad thanks to you guys, I'm over here, 707 followers over here on Rockfin. It's only been like a couple months. So I know some of you guys have come over. I can see it. I know some of you guys have come over. Mad thanks to you guys. But remember when I said I was going to break down that whole Lex Friedman and Kanye West interview? I did that. And I really think it's a good watch. Come on over here. It's rockfin.com at Blackrue or rockfin.com/Blackrue and check that out. But if we go down here, I have a video on the 7 hermetic principles, and I'm going to update this video and do another one on here on Rockfin. It might be premium content depending on what's going on because you actually get more money over here from premium content, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, basically, long story short, hermetic principle says everything has a rhythm, right? So in Facebook's rhythm, it's time for it to go down. And the people that really understand that everything has a rhythm and really understand the whole principle of polarity, check out that video on hermetic principles. I'm telling you, it makes investing, you look at it a whole new different light when you understand these principles. Um, this is its downtime right now. This is downtime, which is fine because we know come 2025, the metaverse, um, Bitcoin's going to be rocking. That maybe is uptime. Where does it end this downward trend? I don't know, but for it to be under $100, it hasn't been there in what? Shoot, like 7 years. Okay, right? And we already know this is a thing behind the thing. It's an infrastructure play because they have their hands hot and heavy on the metaverse. So Definitely one that we can look at, right? But back to what Max was saying about looking at it in from the indices. Again, we got the World Economic Forum here, so I'd rather look at it from crypto and emerging markets, right? So we could go through, peruse those guys. We can come over here with Hedera and their big list of partners, right? I bet you some of these are publicly traded on the US market. In fact, I've already done a little research for the people on that already, and we can see Shinhan Bank, they are one of those publicly traded companies. So if we come over here and take a look at them, they're down to like $25, which if we go to max, okay, so they haven't been this low in about Jesus. um 17 years. So pretty good buy. I look on the calendar here now. This is a Korean bank, but they seem to have their fingers not just in Korea, but a lot of Asian stuff. So look at here, like they had a huge increase in revenue estimates in 2022 around April. It doesn't show us what the actual revenue ended up being, but seems to me like it could bode well. If we go over, look at just this year, so it's fallen just like a lot of the stock market, like $10 and all the way down to like 24, 25. And I tend to think that things are going to fall again when the Fed announces that he's going to hike rates again in November 2nd. But here, let me see something. Am I not sharing? I hope I'm sharing. Oh, shit, I'm not sharing. Ooh, sorry with the language, y'all. I'm about to share. Sorry about that. I forgot again. I did that last night too, y'all. I'm so sorry. Let's see here. What's up, Cryptonomics? What's up, Phantom Beat? I keep forgetting to share this dang on thing, man. Let's see here. Source, share screen. So sorry, y'all. I keep forgetting to share. Okay, so where was I? So again, Max Mayer. He came out with this video, and the whole video was about investing in emerging markets. And two that he pointed out were or three: Poland, India, and Indonesia. And I was thinking, okay, you know what? Combining that game with what we learned from Reggie, why not invest in infrastructure of crypto plays that are in emerging markets? And some of the sources that we can possibly get those plays from would be the World Economic Forum. All of these different topics are all of these different topics are critical not only in crypto but worldwide in countries everywhere: metaverse, cybersecurity, climate change, and AI. Right. So what I did was I said, okay, again, other than the World Economic Forum, who's related to the World Economic Forum? Hedera, right? And I'm like, okay, some of these companies have to be publicly traded, and some of them are. So, one of which being Shinhan Bank. If we come over here to trusty old Benzinga Pro, I have a discount link in my description for this. If you go to any of my videos, you can check that out. I like Benzinga Pro. You can look at not only stocks, you can make watch lists and different workspaces. It's really easy to use and very helpful. But so if we come over here and look at Shinhan Bank, let me just make sure I'm sharing again. Yeah, okay, I'm sharing. Perfect. Okay, and y'all, if y'all have any questions, I think I'm going to do a live stream on my channel after this. Yeah, I'm a rookie up in here, Cryptonomics. It's like the first time I've done it, bruh. Let's see here. No, Reggie, that's some classic game, Cryptonomics. That's some classic game. If you guys have never heard of Ray Kroc, let me bring him up right quick. And it's not, that's what I'm saying, like, it's not just Reggie that I'm taking that from, right? Um, Ray Kroc, he ended up purchasing the McDonald's fast food company. The reason he purchased it is because he ended up buying the land that the McDonald's sit on. So the McDonald's brothers ended up owing him money because he was the one who owned all the land and stuff that they sat upon. So really, he bought them out of their own business in their own name. So it makes that whole thing about investing in the infrastructure makes a whole total lot of sense, especially when we kind of look at, okay, chips are really a big thing. Semiconductors and semiconductor chips, that's a big thing right now. And it's going to continue to be a big thing as we move into the metaverse, as we move into electrical vehicles, in which that states like California want all vehicles to be electric by 2020, by 2035. Ford's moved into electrical vehicles. Like every different auto company that's in the know has moved into electrical vehicles. So very soon here, um, even these oil tycoons, Lucid Motors is ran by Saudi investors. So the Saudi investors are usually people that you would think would be all about oil and gas, but this is where the World Economic Forum is heading people to. Climate change, and oil is one of the things that they're blaming on that. So that's where we're headed. So just reading the tea leaves and getting the things behind these things, I think will put us in a very good position, right? Um, so it's not just Reggie I'm referencing. I'm also referencing Reggie's not a bad reference to have, but I'm also referencing Ray Kroc. I'm also referencing Benzinga CEO Jason Raznick, who always says, "Okay, look at the thing behind the thing." Thing behind the thing, like of course Tesla needs batteries for their Tesla. So what are the materials that those batteries are made of? Lithium. Maybe lithium is a better, was just a good investment. What are all the chips that are going to be needed for the Tesla cars? What about the LiDAR? It's a whole bunch of different things, but you can trace it all back and try to find the most necessary things in these industries, right? So, case in point, the money men, Shinhan Bank, right? I just showed you, or I thought I was showing you, a chart here. If we come here and look at their calendar, it doesn't show all their earnings. I think this is because they're a foreign company. But look at some of their estimates. This year, this is 2022 April. The estimated revenue, or actually this is revenue, period. This is not estimated. This is their actual revenue. 11 billion. They increased threefold. Now if we go down here, it seems like they've been on an increasing bit of revenue for a while now. So Shinhan Bank might be one of the ones that we want to go invest in because they're a thing that's pushing behind all these different cryptos. Case in point, you see them here with Hedera, and you see them here with Clayton. If we zoom in here, you can see them right there. So those are some things behind that thing. Let me see who we got in here. Go back. Where am I at? Here we go. What's up, Courtney Johnson? Okay. Meta was dead when it was Facebook. You know what? I don't think Meta's going to go anywhere. And this is just another thing. Cryptonomics, you got to check out my 7 hermetic principles. Um, 7 hermetic principles. There's a thing in the hermetic principles. There's one called about polarization. Once you understand polarization, you understand why um, different you understand how they're kind of almost doing magic on us when they do these. You have to do one or the other. You have to do, you know, a Jabberwocky, or you got to not do it, or you got to do a, you know, either your Blue Lives Matter or your Black Lives Matter, or you're either Democrat or you're either a Republican. There's no this is like magic that they play on us. There's no third choice. You're either on one side or the other, and then you just go up and down that side. Where it's like, okay, you're a Democratic left person or you're a conservative Democrat, and it's like, what are you talking about? There's not just two choices. There aren't just two choices, but that's kind of how things are done. And then you get into the whole principle of rhythm. This principle of rhythm gets played out here with the meta. Meta is not just dead. This is just its down cycle. Case in point, I can show you a oil company, right? Let's see. What is that company? Okay, Crestwood Equity Partners. This is not a huge one, but it's gonna be one that'll show what I'm saying. So everyone thought after Rona, oil was dead. Well, take a look. It's right back where it was before Rona, right? It's right in the same place. Um, Another case in point, Ford, of course, they're not as big as they were, but if we look at them, they had a nice little downtime right there, and they're kind of back, and a little downtime towards Rona again, and it's pretty much back. So there's a rhythm, especially when you think about these things that are like almost too big to fail. Come over here and look at earnings. They earn 37 billion bucks a year, and that's how you also know some of this stuff. Some of these earnings things. I hate this. Sorry. We're just gonna click on something else and it goes away. So some of these like earnings things, and you see that, oh, like, well, then how can something be rated more than when Ford's making $37 billion a year? It's kind of insane to think about and to look at. I think I just confused it, which is terrible. Let's go back to Ford again. So yeah, so how can something be like for a second like Neo was ranked like worth more as a stock than Ford when Ford's over here making 37 billion a year. Okay, this is not Ford Motors. Okay, there it is. So like how is that even possible, right? But yeah. Um so back to what we were saying here. We just looked at Shinhan Bank. Another one would be Wipro, and that's in India, one of Max's emerging markets here. If we come over here and look at Hedera, we can see right here, Wipro is right over there, right? As one of the owning and governing organizations of Hedera. So if we go over here and look at Wipro, you can see also it's kind of at a bargain price at what it is right now. It hasn't been this low in about 6 years itself. So have we reached the low of all of these markets? Probably not. Um, Here we got the Fed talking on November 2nd, and they're probably going to lower the rates again, which means this little bitty bull run that we got in Bitcoin and in the stock market is probably going to end. But we look here with Wipro, this is the lowest they've been in 12 years. No, you can go right here, 2019. Oh, okay. Well, just on average, this is the lowest they've been in 10 years, right? Um, so they're going to be another one to look at. And if we go over here and look at their earnings per year, you can see also they've been steady growing, almost 3 million here. Another company that I know he mentioned, and I know this is a good company. Like this just shows you like any information that you have, you really should take advantage of it. I know when I got out of college a couple a couple of years ago now, like 12 or more. Um, Wipro or Infosys was an up and coming company. This is a company in India. They make different types of, they do Indian like IT communications, and I believe they might go even deeper than that. But you can see here over the last few years, they've went from like $1 billion all the way to $4 billion. And this is also a good proof of what Max is saying, because we're looking at an Indian company where we can verify and trace through their revenue and see that they went up every year. And here we go. Global leading IT services provider based in Bangalore, Indian IT, blah, blah, blah. So, in fact, as a matter of fact, one of my friends, I think she went over to India to work for them. Um, so you can see here, let's see, 10 years. So as their revenue increased, so did the price in the company here. And now it's chilling at about 18, but it definitely tripled from when I first heard about it, right? Let me see if there's anybody else in the chat here. Well, stock not dead, but yeah, agreed. But the platform has been dead for years. Got you. Yeah, I got you. But that's been it's been dead. The platform, so to speak, like still use it. They still got their pulse on people because they own Instagram. So it's like a lot of younger people use TikTok, but they also use Instagram as well. So at this point, they're really really almost too big to fail because they also have WhatsApp and all these things. It's just that they've been, in my opinion, they have been told that they need to go ahead and focus on this metaverse. Big Papa WEF said, "You better put on for the metaverse. You better work for the metaverse. You better get that metaverse popping because that's what we need." And a lot of people might be looking at Mark Zuckerberg like, okay, why is he wasting all this money in the metaverse? Because that's his mission. Well, not his mission. That's the one he's been given. If if you feel what I'm saying here. So he's gonna keep working on it until the right people are gonna make sure Facebook doesn't, you know, doesn't die. They lose all that data if Facebook dies. How many accounts like use log into stuff with their Facebook or like all of those different usernames? It's not gonna die. It's just right now. This is its time. This is its rhythm to go down because they had this big spike up after after Rona, and now it's just its time to take that L. Um, Now, again, like I think it may be lower after the Fed talks here on November 2nd, but if you're averaging down at 99, like under 100, say could it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So then Meta and one of those highlights one of our biggest areas, right, which is the metaverse. And let me give you that link, Cryptonomics, to my Rockfin. Let me see. I think I can just drop it in the comments here. If I don't mess up and close the window. There you go. So yeah, so metaverse is one of those that's heavy. But also you can think about this with the 30 emerging markets we just mentioned too, which was India, Poland, and Indonesia. Shout out to Max Maher for that. And honestly, I think really all those Asian markets are gonna kind of pop off. Um, Korea might be one of those, or South Korea might be one of those that we put on that list as well. But I'm also thinking that whole market is going to be heavy for video games and hence the metaverse because all the video games are probably going to move inside of the metaverse so that you have like almost a real like reaction going through your video games with these different those different like devices that they can put on you and make you almost feel like you're in real life doing that thing. Some questions come up on like, okay, if you're having all this stuff on you, you can really feel it like real life. What happens if you die? Does that mess up your neurons in a way that you actually think you've had a in real life death? Those are some things that we're not even gonna cover because it's a whole new like can of worms. But they say that people already do intimate stuff on the metaverse where they have all these sensors on and it feels like they're doing, you know, the same thing in real life. But then what happens then if someone violates you to the point of death or something like RAPE. We're not even going to cover that, but just we'll just hit it from the point of, hey, this is something that the metaverse, that the World Economic Forum really wants to hit. But back to gaming, Tencent, they are very huge in that whole area of Asian gaming. And these dudes were as high as $100. Um, the way this whole wick looks, it looks like it's going to go lower than 25. But this seems like another one that wouldn't be a bad alternative investment. Now, if we look at their calendar, we'll see the multi billions they get in video game, and this is just completely just video games for these guys. From 9 to 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 12, 15, 20, 22, 20 billions of dollars. So, real good. And that also reminds me of Veracity. That's another one as far as like going over to the crypto space. They're getting high and hot and heavy in the whole Indonesia type area. So let me see, where is that? Bring them up. Veras. And this is also one that you can stake. And they also have a deal in place with a company called Bright Cove that's publicly traded, so they can use their proof of view technology to stop bots from botting on streaming services. So this is another one that I'm kind of on the lookout for and have coins staked with these guys. This is another one in that whole emerging market field, right? So besides the metaverse, we got gaming, and in some sense, those two go hand in hand. And then back here, the next one would be clean power, quote unquote clean power, because some would debate that there are easier ways than solar power and wind turbines, such as hydropower, because we all know that water, when it's running down a hill, due to the way polarity it works, because some people question gravity. Not they question the physics of gravity, but water is always going to come down the hill. It's just going to do that. So we could use hydropower because it's more efficient, and there's some questions that Nikola Tesla actually harnessed power just simply from the air, but that was shut down. But anyways, clean energy, that's another way that they want to go here. I just showed you World Economic Forum. They have climate change on their thing. And if you check out some past Gentlemen of Crypto episodes, I've gone into um, those green power or carbon credit like cryptos, like Power Ledger and Energy Web Token, which I also found out kind of has its DeFi up and running and is a part of the Cosmos blockchain. Pretty crazy. Chains. It's taking a while to load. A long while. Energy Web. So you can see here it has only like 1 million right now, but they have their own swap and they're on. Okay, I thought they were on the Cosmos network. Maybe they're on Polygon. Let me see here. But anyways, doesn't matter. You can see they have their DeFi up and running, and that's awesome. So again, an alternative play would be to look at all these different green power companies. And we're trying to look at companies that have a decent amount of earnings already. So Plug Power, they're in the hundreds of millions of earnings. And by the way, shout out to my page. I'm going to give you guys like a deeper list with like maybe like at least five companies from each of these different categories that I'm talking about. So shout out to you guys if you're out there, but that's what's going to happen. So you can see here with Plug Power, again, another one, 5 million, 21, all the way to hundreds of millions. And this is something also that's happening in our own administration because we see Biden talking about it and issuing all these different executive orders and saying this many billions or that many billions is going towards it. So companies like Plug Power may be things that we want to look at, especially considering it's in the hundreds of millions of earnings, right? And you can go down here and see Plug Power is building an end-to-end green hydrogen ecosystem from production, storage, and delivery to energy generation. The company plans to build and operate green hydrogen highways across North America and Europe. Plug will deliver its green hydrogen solutions directly to customers through joint ventures, blah, blah, blah. Another one would be Sunrun. They're also doing like green power, but more in the solar type field. As soon as this loads, Sunrun is engaged in the design, development, installation, and sale ownership of residential solar energy systems in the U.S. The company acquires customers with various solar and strategic powers. I think this is the company that bought Vivint. So basically, it's just them and Tesla that do residential solar power things. So you can see here that they had a huge run all the way to $100 and like right after Rona. And then they've collapsed down here to $21. And this is why almost this goes into those Hermetic principles again. Like you just have the rhythm of that. It's just gonna happen. So again, we can look at their earnings, and you're gonna notice kind of the same thing where they had a nice little increase. This is the worst place for this little box. They need to move that. Thank you. Then move. So again, single millions all the way up to multiple hundreds of millions to Jesus. A half a billion. Crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, so then there we go with the green power, and this is getting it from the whole green power side. The other side of it would be green power vehicles. You got stuff like Lion Electric, you got stuff like Lucid Motors, you have stuff like Tesla, of course, a whole bunch of different ones in that field. But we're just going to point out Lion Electric at this point. Lion Electric, you can see they're steady growing. It's taking a little bit, but they're growing. They have kind of a moat on electrical power because they're doing it in Canada and they're getting all those different, like, not 18 wheelers. I don't think they have that yet, but like the vehicles right under 18 wheelers. They're doing electrical powertrains and all of that for those. So you can see here zero emission vehicles. It creates, designs, manufactures all electric class 5 to class 8 urban trucks. So class 5 to 8, I believe, is under the um, underneath the 18 rulers. Um, so we could actually probably look up the class of the trucks, but needless to say, they're into everything, including like school buses, and you can see bus bodies, truck cabins, battery packs, chassis. So this is all in Canada. Let's see here. So green power, we got it from both the solar and the building side. We got it from the vehicle side. And then now here, the next part would be from the infrastructure side. We got a company called ChargePoint. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have heard of ChargePoint, but they do the battery stations, the electrical power like charging stations. So if we go down here, this is the part I love about Benzinga Pro. It's like you don't have to go to another place to see what the company is. You can see it right here, and you can see the earnings, and you got your watch list right on the side. It's so convenient. Um, ChargePoint designs, develops, and markets electrical or networked electrical vehicle charging systems, infrastructure, and cloud-based services that enable customers to locate, reserve, and authenticate EV charging. So again, California is moving to all EV charge vehicles, and by 2020 or by 2035. So you best believe a company like ChargePoint and any others of its ilk. You can see here on Benzinga Pro, it lets you do peers as well. Are going to be very much worth something. Like this one came out in the SPAC craze, and it was up for a while and got cut in a third. Um, but if we come over here and look at this calendar and look at its earnings, you can see it is well on its way up. Those earnings are growing every year. 42, 100, 56, 65, 80, 80, 100. Pretty soon, you'll see it'll probably be in the billions like all the rest of them, right? Um, but these are the type of things we're looking at as things behind thing plays, as different alternatives to crypto plays. And I'm still bullish on crypto plays. I'm still thinking that those are going to be very great come the Bitcoin have in 2024. In 2024, Bitcoin will have, and usually it takes a couple months until we see the impact of the halving till things go like super bullish. But at the same time, in the sake of diversification, we could have these under our belt as well because we know these are going to be affected by Bitcoin having and by the World Economic Forum pushing these different topics, right? And we know the World Economic Forum has huge amounts of money behind them, like even um, royal families like King Charles spoke at the World Economic Forum. So there's tons of different old money power behind these guys. So let's go back over here. What's up, Wappin Wapminin 99. What's up, Nerd Up Inc. Marv? Appreciate it. Always out here, baby. What's up, Pele? What's up, Mon F? Y'all some real ones. I really appreciate it. I've installed a bunch of charge point. I forgot that you're in that business strictly. What's up, man? Installed a bunch of charge point stations in the last 2 years. We put them in 10 stations set up in our main office. I'm actually certified through ChargePoint. So see, there you go. It's an inside. I love information like this because you can see that it collaborates exactly what we're seeing with ChargePoint's earnings, right? Strictly just said he installed a bunch of them, and that fits exactly in with what our administration wants. I think the electric cat company boom is overbought and simmering right now. Last year was popping, not so sure now with inflation so high. I see what you're talking about, strictly or cryptonomics. I see what's up, Virgo El Unico. I know what you're talking about, but here's the thing that you have to know about that. They're pushing this climate change hard. And what that's going to result in is hopefully it does not result in carbon credits. But I was reading somewhere where this Dutch girl was saying that they're already implementing carbon credits and wherever the Dutch live. So she was saying that they were already implementing, and I'm like, Jesus. Like she said she went to the grocery store and it was on her receipt or something like that. Let me see if I can find that in my past tweets. So, so that's going to be something. That's going to be a push. Um, and there's nothing we as retail people, short of like all of us rebelling, which is not going to happen because they keep us too divided. Anti-Semitism, if you're, you know, one gender or the other one, if you're black or white, if you're Democrat or Republican, if you're left or right, they keep us too way too divided to have any chance at rebelling about anything they do. So climate change is just going to happen. And again, um, you can see what I'm talking about with these earnings here. Um, these earnings, it just shows that quiet as it's kept, it's happening. It's happening. Um, they're installing more of these dang on charging stations. Um, Companies like Lion Electric, they're growing their revenue because more and more things like children's school buses, all these different vehicles, because they still need a supply chain, right? They still need these vehicles to work so that so they can get stuff to and fro. So you can see growing, right? Let me not even, and these were the ones that I thought were more cost effective. Let me not even get into a company like Enphase or a company like Tesla, which a huge part of their business is just green power and green power infrastructure. So if we just take a look here at Enphase, and this is one of the ones has not gone down. It's just keep going up because it's it's probably like a global leader in these type of areas. It and Tesla. So if we go down to Enphase, is a global energy technology company. The company delivers smart and easy use solutions that manage global solar generation, storage, and communication on one platform. The company's microinverter technology, again, chips, primarily services the rooftop solar market and produces a fully integrated solar plus storage solution. Now, if we look at its price, this boy just keeps going and going and going and going and going. At some point, it'll have to go down. At some point, it cannot continue to go up. It doesn't fit everything. But now, if we go over here and look at its earnings, it's probably going to be just sick to look at. Okay, still, it's not that. You can see here its earnings. 100 millions down to single millions, and then 100, 200, 300, 400, 6,000. It's crazy that it's this high. Like, it's not making enough revenue to be this high, considering like all the other ones that we looked at. But anyway, um, the green energy, it's just happening. It's just gonna happen. It's crazy. Um, did I miss one that I want to go through? So we got green power through like solar things, vehicle things, infrastructure things. Okay, one of the ones that I didn't cover that I'll try to cover on my channel when we move over to that would be like looking at semiconductors, like chips. We could take it down to like semiconductors. We could even go to precious metals. Um, like you can get real kind of deep into the whole thing of things, but there's only going to be like maybe like 10 companies in each sector that are going to set themselves apart. But the thing you got to know too, though, is that this change is happening globally. So maybe you don't have the top American stock or the top one of the top three American stocks. Find the top two Indian stocks. Find the top two um, Indonesian stocks. Find the top two Polish stocks if you can find them. So there's there's tons of different ways to go about this where you don't necessarily need to, okay, go chase Solana or something like that. Like Solana's at a discount, but you know what I mean. Like you don't have to go out here and put money into in phase, for instance, when it's at the highest it's ever been. So yeah, let me see if we got any more questions, and then we're gonna just go straight over to my channel. Okay, Enphase, when was the company started? What's up, Jay Shaw? Oh yeah, man. You know, I believe highly in DAG. Highly, highly believe in DAG. Enphase. Let's see when they were started. Like way back here. Um, it goes all the way back to 2012. So it seems like that's when they started because it goes back to 2012. If I go to something like Ford, will it go back further? That's the real test. So yeah, so it seems like it was started in 2012 because for Ford it goes back as far as 85, and I think it's been around longer than that. But there we go. All right, y'all. So we will continue this on my channel. Let me see if there are any questions I can bring over there. I will say that energy stocks are going to be in demand with all those shortages and high prices going on. That's what I'm thinking too. But even the thing behind the thing with that, I think the solar stuff, the infrastructure stuff like charging stations and semiconductor chips, those are really going to be in a high demand coming up, especially seeing as how Biden and all of them seem to be pushing climate change. Let's see, Biden. Okay, fact sheet. I think this is the one we want. It'll say something like, okay, yeah. Biden-Harris administration launches new climate change portal. So you can see how the World Economic Forum, they're just leading all of this stuff. All of this freaking Democrat and Republican thing is just like a shamockery over here. New climate change portal to help communities navigate climate change impacts. I don't know if it's the one where it says they're spending like $2 billion to help with like all these different things. Okay, I don't think this is the right one, but you can see here it's on the agenda. It's definitely on the agenda. Let's see. Statements and releases. Maybe we'll be able to find it right quick. No, not gonna find it. Okay. So yeah, man. But yeah, come on over to my channel. We'll be continuing this discussion. And later on today, I'll have a video on pre-search. I know Third Eye Explosion asked me about that. So I'm gonna have that video out sometime either today or tomorrow. But today, like we're gonna go live on my channel right after this. So hope to catch you guys over there. I'll have it up in like about 5 minutes because I got to get a thumbnail or something. So please come on over there and we'll continue the conversation. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one. Peace.